My name is Christine Nichols. I teach yoga and Pilates, and I'm also an acupuncturist. I was introduced to structural realignment integration about 4 years ago. I've been doing yoga for many, many years, and I was in a tremendous amount of pain. And I was going from studio to studio looking for another teacher, someone to tell me more about how to move my body. And I wasn't really finding much information. And then I was introduced to this method of movement, and it really changed my whole practice, personally and professionally. What it gave me was information and a map to go into any posture, go into any exercise program, and be able to move myself, my body, from the inside out. And that is something that I had never had before. And as I said, I was in a lot of pain, primarily in my mid-back, which it's funny, I don't hear a lot of people with that kind of pain. And I found that my shoulders were rounding, and no matter what I did, I couldn't access my mid-back. And I would do tons of stretching. I would do all sorts of yoga, as I said. Doing structural realignment integration allowed me to move from my true core, so I was able to access my mid-back. And it almost feels like, when I do it, I think of like ice, and you know when there's a little crack in the ice and all of a sudden it leads up and it lets everything go? That's how I feel my spine goes, or not my spine, but the congestion in my mid-back. It goes from my perineum all the way up and starts to release. And it's such an incredible feeling. And I feel like for the first time in my life, through this method, I begin to feel what yoga was intended for. I mean, I always got the high, I always enjoyed a workout, but when I use this method with yoga, I begin to really move, really breathe, and I believe really feel what I was supposed to feel, which is invigorated and alive. I believe anybody, everybody, anybody who's moving can benefit from this program. When I first learned about it, I was teaching at a gym, and I would do an early morning class. I had a lot of men, a lot of older women, a lot of people who were very, very, very tight and weren't used to moving in this sort of way. And so they would come into class, and I started integrating what I had learned, and suddenly they were getting more out of everything in their life. And so I believe that anybody can use this program, especially people who haven't really done a lot of yoga programs or haven't done a lot of movement in their life but are just suffering from pain. I believe everybody, anybody, yoga teachers, yoga practitioners, young, old, people coming back from injury. I've seen it. I've seen it on all different people, and I've seen it work. I became an acupuncturist because I was a yoga teacher and I was seeing so many people become injured, and I thought, okay, I got to do more. So I decided acupuncture because it had been beneficial for me. What I found through my acupuncture practice is that people come and they have the lower back pain, they have the mid-back pain, they have knee problems, joint problems, and I can go in there and I can relieve their pain, I can move the energy, I can move chi and blood is what they say. But they still have to go, and they have to leave, and they have to live in that body. So they go and they do what they're going to do, and then they come back to me and I release it again. And what I have found is, I believe acupuncture is so very powerful, but what's so beautiful is that I can layer it. I can do the acupuncture, and then I can say, hey, listen, do you stretch? I can give them 15 minutes of what I've learned here with structural realignment integration. 15 minutes, 20 minutes of a stretch, and it gives them some information about their body and gives them the power back, which I think is the most important thing, is to let the person know that they have the power to heal themselves. I can help them, and I have a lot of tools, thankfully, but ultimately it's their body that they're living in, and it's them who are responsible for healing themselves. And I think it really empowers people. So I feel tremendously grateful, so grateful that I that I have so many gifts that have been given to me that I can share with other people. And this structural realignment integration, again, is one of the most powerful because it's something they can do for themselves. I don't have to show up and do it for them.